Hi, I'm Lars Ballow, and today we're going to share some of the information on the Windows collaboration display. So I'm here with the Sharp 70-inch display, and it is included with the embedded speakers, microphones and camera, and the IoT sensor, so we will be able to get information from the meeting room. It is displayed on the front of the room, so you will be able to see the temperature and the humidity, but also the quality of the air in the meeting room. And there is also the motion sensor, so for instance, facility will be able to see if there is anybody in the meeting room. So this is just displayed in front of the room, but it will also be able to connect to Azure Digital Twins. So via our Workspace Intelligence, it would be possible to change and see all these features. So what are we going to use the numbers for? Yeah, for instance, the quality of the air or the temperature. You don't necessarily need to have the aircon on until 5 or 6 in the evening if you can see that there is no motion in the meeting room. You could also see, for instance, if it's very hot during the morning, it might be possible to turn on the air condition a little bit earlier. And also for the people in the meeting room, it will be possible to see how the air quality is. So just a few tips and tricks on the IoT sensors. But looking into how people would normally use it, they would take their normal laptop, bring it into the meeting room, and they will connect it with the USB-C cable. This one is the 8 meters cable that is included when you buy the display. And when you connect your PC, it will be shown on the display. But not only shown on the display, it will also give you a touch from your PC, so you can leave your PC down at the table and then you will be able to do everything up here. So simply do the presentation from up here. So for instance, pushing the button on the Windows icon, it will open up my start menu, and I could open up a Zoom meeting, could join an existing meeting or create a new meeting, and then you will be able to connect everything. Just really simple. Let me shut down this one and let me push the Windows button again. I could open up for Microsoft Teams, and then it would open up and I could join this meeting I'm having right now. So joining the meeting, as you see, it will already be picking up the microphone, the speakers and the camera, and then I could simply hit the join button. I could go full screen if I want to do that, and I can do also sharing content from my OneDrive. So opening up this presentation from our OneDrive will take the presentation and put it up into the Teams server, and then it will be possible for me to share the content, and I could also use my finger to do these slides. So it's really simple, and even though I'm that close to the display, I'm still in the field of view of the camera. So it's really nice that I'm able to do everything and leave my PC down at the table. Coming back to all the features and numbers we have from the IoT sensors, we have been looking into how we are going to do our meetings, and one of the things that we have experienced is that normally in the meetings people just invited all that they normally do, and since we're working a bit different in these days, some is in the office and some is working remotely in the home office, we have been able to look into that we need to consider which people that we actually invite for each meeting and not just invite all. Another thing, the facilities. So of course a lot of us is working from home, sometimes the facilities at home but also in the meeting rooms, and since we are working on a lot of different platforms these days, so Skype for Business, Teams, Zoom, Cisco WebEx, it really makes sense to look into the Windows collaboration display, because it doesn't really matter which platform that you're using. You could just install every platform, and since it's your own PC, it's really easy for the users. Another thing, coming back to the IoT sensors, is the indoor environment in the meeting room specifically. So both the temperature, the air quality, but also the lighting and the noise. So if you're really close to a lot of noise, it doesn't make the optimal meetings. So please beware of that, but it's really easy to look at the temperature and the air quality and also do a lot of things about it. So I'm gonna go through a lot of slides, but just sharing this slide regarding the air quality in the meetings. So what we have seen in our meeting rooms is that it's basically really good during the morning, but then we going through the day, there is a lot of meetings in the meeting room, but we doesn't really have the great air conditioning. And then when we are down at the end of the day, we being a bit lazy, and some of us might get a headache, and that is actually due to the air quality. So really looking into opening up the window when there isn't a meeting, or after the meeting, or even just before the meeting, really makes good sense. So another thing that we could do is that since I have the Microsoft Whiteboard on my PC, I could use it up here. So it is what we call a bring your own meeting. So we use a lot of Teams, but we do also use Zoom for some meetings and for webinars. And sometimes we are also invited to Cisco and the WebEx meetings. So we will be able to use all platforms on this one, and taking the pen, it will also be possible to use it as an eraser on the back of the pen. So really simple. We will be able and have access to all the tools that I'm normally using on my PC. Another thing that I can, if I want to share content from my phone, this is a Samsung phone, so I can go to what they call Smart View. I can hit that button, and then would look into all the devices that I'm able to share with, and it's called Direct WCD, so the Windows Collaboration Display. And then you will have on top of the screen an accept button, so you don't necessarily share content into the wrong meeting. And then you will see you have the ability to share everything from my phone into the meeting. So for instance, Wi-Fi analyzer, if you think that is really interesting to look at, you can share that kind of information. And basically you can share all the information that you have. So it's just doing a complete screen mirroring. And then when I'm done with sharing the content that I have from my phone, I could simply disconnect from the Smart View, and then I will be right back to my PC. So pretty easy for the users, since they normally work with the PC, they normally work with the phone, and it doesn't need to think about changing the source or anything. It's just out of the box using it. So a short introduction to Windows Collaboration Display, the WCD from Sharp. Embedded microphones, cameras and speakers, and IoT sensors. Thanks for watching. See you. Bye.